Bruce Willis's wife, Emma Heming Willis, has revealed one of the most heartbreaking truths yet about the actor's condition, sharing that Bruce Willis does not know he has dementia. This is not because he refuses to accept it, not because he is in denial, and not because the family has hidden it from him, but because his brain is no longer capable of understanding that anything is wrong. According to Emma, this reality is the result of a neurological symptom known as anosognosia, a condition that prevents a person from recognizing their own illness. And while this might sound shocking, Emma has explained that in many ways, it has become both the most painful and the most merciful part of Bruce's journey. Emma has spoken openly about how Bruce never connected the dots that his life had changed in such a profound way. He doesn't wake up each day aware that he has a progressive brain disease. He doesn't sit with fear about what lies ahead. He doesn't mourn the career he lost or the abilities that have faded. He doesn't replay old memories with sadness or question why certain things feel harder now. To the outside world, this sounds devastating beyond words, but Emma has said she is actually grateful for it. She has described it as a strange blessing because Bruce is spared the emotional torment that comes with knowing you are slowly losing parts of yourself, parts that once defined who you were. Bruce Willis is now 70 years old, and for decades he was one of the most recognizable and dependable stars in Hollywood. He wasn't just famous, he was iconic. He built his legacy as the tough, sarcastic action hero who could balance grit with humor, whether he was saving Los Angeles barefoot in Die Hard, facing down an extinction-level asteroid in Armageddon, or delivering quiet, haunting intensity in films like The Sixth Sense and Pulp Fiction. His presence on screen was magnetic. Studios trusted him to open movies worldwide. Audiences trusted him to deliver. He worked relentlessly, sometimes filming multiple projects a year, earning a reputation as someone who showed up and got the job done. That's why the news that began emerging just a few years ago felt so jarring and unreal to fans around the world. Subtle signs were there before the public announcement, moments when his performances seemed different, when dialogue felt strained, when co-stars quietly stepped in to help, but no one imagined the reality behind it. In 2022, Bruce's family announced that he would be stepping away from acting after being diagnosed with aphasia, a disorder that affects language and communication. The announcement was met with an outpouring of shock, sympathy, and disbelief. At the time, many people assumed aphasia simply meant difficulty memorizing lines or speaking clearly. But aphasia is far more complex and far more cruel. It can affect the ability to understand spoken language, express thoughts, read, write, and even process meaning. For an actor whose entire career depended on communication, on timing, dialogue, and emotional nuance, it was a devastating blow. And yet, even then, Bruce himself did not fully grasp what was happening to him. Then, in early 2023, the family shared a more painful and clarifying update. Bruce had been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia, a rare and aggressive form of dementia that affects the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain. Unlike Alzheimer's disease, which usually begins with memory loss, frontotemporal dementia often begins with changes in personality, behavior, language, impulse control, and emotional regulation. This explained why Bruce's struggles went far beyond speech, affecting how he interacted with the world and with those closest to him. Emma Heming Willis, who married Bruce in 2009, has since become the steady, compassionate voice guiding the public through this journey. Together, they share two daughters, Mabel and Evelyn, who were still very young when Bruce's symptoms began to surface. Emma has spoken candidly about the heartbreak of watching her children grow up while their father slowly becomes a different version of himself. She has described the experience as greeting someone who is still alive, a type of loss that never fully resolves because the person is still physically present, still breathing, still smiling, but fundamentally changed. In her most recent comments, Emma explained that Bruce genuinely believes his current reality is normal. He doesn't question why things feel different. He doesn't ask why his speech has changed or why others step in to help him more often. He doesn't wonder why his days look quieter now or why his world has become smaller. His brain simply accepts this version of life as the way things are. Emma said this understanding reshaped how she approaches caregiving because trying to explain the disease or force awareness would only create confusion, fear, or distress. This lack of awareness, she explained, is not something that can be reasoned with. It's not something patience, reassurance, or love can fix. It's not stubbornness or denial. It's a direct result of physical changes inside the brain. That realization, while painful, helped Emma let go of the idea that Bruce will ever fully understand what is happening to him. Instead of fighting that reality, she now focuses on meeting him where he is, rather than where she wishes he could be. Despite the progression of the disease, Emma has made it clear that Bruce still recognizes his loved ones. He knows his wife. He knows his children. He responds emotionally to familiar faces, familiar voices, familiar energy. These moments of recognition may be quiet, subtle, or fleeting, but they are deeply meaningful. This is one of the defining characteristics of frontotemporal dementia in its earlier and middle stages. Memory, especially recognition of close family, can remain intact even as communication, behavior, and personality change. For Emma and their daughters, these moments are treasured beyond words. Life for the Willis family now revolves around structure, routine, care, and safety. Bruce has a full-time care team supporting him, helping manage his daily needs and ensuring he is comfortable and protected. The family have made difficult and emotional decisions to adapt their lives around his condition. Emma has admitted that none of this was easy. Every adjustment came with grief. Every decision felt heavy. But her priority, she says, has always been preserving Bruce's dignity and comfort even as the disease continues to move forward. Emma has also spoken about something many caregivers experience but rarely discuss openly: anticipatory grief. This is the grief that comes from knowing what lies ahead, from watching someone slowly change, and from understanding that the future will bring more loss. She has said that every milestone, birthdays, holidays, school events, carries both love and sorrow because Bruce experiences these moments differently now and sometimes not at all in the way they once imagined. Public reaction to Emma's honesty has been overwhelming. Fans from around the world have flooded social media with messages of love, empathy, and support. Many people have said her words helped them finally understand what their own loved ones were going through. Others shared deeply personal stories of caring for parents, spouses, siblings, or grandparents with dementia, describing the same confusion, heartbreak, exhaustion, and quiet strength Emma has spoken about. What has resonated most is Emma's refusal to romanticize caregiving. She doesn't pretend it's beautiful every day. She doesn't present herself as endlessly strong. She talks about the sadness, the frustration, the loneliness, and the emotional fatigue that come with loving someone who cannot fully understand their own condition. At the same time, she reminds people that joy still exists, laughter still happens, love still flows freely even if it looks different than it once did. Emma has also emphasized the importance of honesty with their daughters. Rather than shielding them from the truth, she chose to explain their father's condition in an age-appropriate way. She has said children are far more perceptive than adults realize, and hiding the reality can often create more fear. By educating them, she helped them understand that their father's behavior is not intentional and that his brain is sick. She believes this honesty has helped them develop empathy, resilience, and emotional strength. Bruce's extended family has remained closely involved throughout this journey. His former wife, Demi Moore, and their 3 adult daughters have been present and supportive, often spending time together as a blended family. Their unity has touched many people, showing that love, respect, and loyalty can endure beyond traditional definitions of family, especially in times of crisis. Medical professionals have praised Emma for bringing awareness to anosognosia and frontotemporal dementia. Many caregivers struggle when their loved one insists they are fine or resists help. Understanding that this lack of awareness is caused by physical changes in the brain can help reduce guilt, anger, and frustration. It reframes difficult behavior not as stubbornness, but as a symptom of the disease itself. As of now, there is no cure for frontotemporal dementia. Treatment focuses on managing symptoms, maintaining quality of life, and supporting caregivers. The disease is progressive, meaning symptoms will continue to evolve over time. Emma has acknowledged this reality while making it clear that she refuses to live entirely in fear of what's coming next. Instead, she chooses to focus on the present moment, on what Bruce can still do, on who he still is, and on the love that still exists. She has described this mindset as essential for survival. If she allowed herself to constantly think about the future, she says, it would be impossible to function. By grounding herself in the present, she finds meaning in small moments of connection, even if they are brief or imperfect. The story of Bruce Willis is no longer just about a Hollywood icon stepping away from the spotlight. It is about a family navigating one of the most difficult human experiences imaginable. It is about redefining love when communication fades. It is about learning to let go of expectations while holding on to what remains. And it is about bringing awareness to a disease that affects countless families but is still widely misunderstood. Emma Heming Willis has made it clear that she will continue to speak openly about this journey, not for sympathy or attention, but to help others feel less alone. She has said that if sharing their story helps even one family feel understood, then the vulnerability is worth it. For fans who grew up watching Bruce Willis save the world on screen, this chapter is undeniably painful, but it is also a powerful reminder that behind every action hero is a human being vulnerable to illness, aging, and loss. And behind that human being is a family doing everything they can to protect his dignity, honor his legacy, and love him through every stage of this disease. Bruce Willis may not know he has dementia, but he is surrounded by care, devotion, and unwavering love. And perhaps, in the end, that is the most important truth of all. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.